And we're on. This is the Let's Talk Cheer podcast, and I'm your host, Jason Larkins, where we talk cheer, we talk life, and we talk whatever comes to mind. 5, 6, 7, 8, let's get started.
Turn it up, you tuning into Let's Talk Cheer with Jason Larkins. We're talking cheer, we're talking like you know we're always talking. So listen up, you boy, I'm about to go all in. 5, 6, 7, 8, we're on, let's begin.
This is episode number 34. Not sure if there's going to be a 35, but thank you for joining. And today we have an awesome episode for you guys. We have Nathan Voss, co-owner, co-founder of the app LinQ, which is going to revolutionize the game for music producers, event producers, and cheer gyms all alike. So definitely stay tuned for that. But before we hop into that, make sure that you like this podcast. Make sure that you share it and make sure that you are subscribed so that you do not miss another episode. But thank you so much for joining, guys. Let's hop into that interview with Nathan Voss. As I said in the opening, we have Nathan Voss here, co-owner, co-founder of the app LinQ that is going to revolutionize the game. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us today. How you doing, my man?
Man, I get to see you, brother. What do you think? I'm doing with Jason Larkins. Come on now. I'm doing fantastic, sir. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. I'm ready to talk about this app. We mentioned this app two episodes ago, so I know the people are ready to hear about it. There's actually someone, not sure if you saw it on my comments, but I posted that story the 2 episodes ago about, hey, you know, that I had that music trouble. And I say, hey, with LinQ, that won't happen again. And someone in my comments like, what's LinQ? And I'm like, well, I kind of left them hanging, but you know, we're gonna give them the answer today. So I guess let's start there. So in its simplest form, you know, I know we're gonna walk through the whole thing right now, but in its simplest form, what is LinQ?
Well, realistically, LinQ is now the digital footprint of music and licensing for the spirit industry. And this is not just for the music producer. This is also for the team. This is also for the actual event producer as well. On top of that, it's an extra layer of protection for your business, for your school, for music producers. We're doing a lot, which we're going to jump into. But LinQ is now the digital footprint of music and licensing for the spirit industry in its simplest form.
There we go. All right. So what made you come up with the idea for LinQ?
Well, you know, I started as an athlete, you know, moved to coaching, moved to music. You know, I had music in my blood my whole life. I was a roadie from the time I could wrap a cable around my arm. Okay. My parents put me through it, but I've had music in my blood the whole time that I was cheering. So cheer music production became a big thing for me. And then in 2016, when the industry did the big shift because of copyright law, I knew from that moment that something had to happen, because at the time I was a music producer, and it could have been detrimental, and it was to a lot of music producers' business. So we wanted to figure out a way to try to systemize the steps, okay, and give everybody the protection that they deserve, and actually protect the industry.
All right. So talk to me about, you mentioned copyright. So talk to me about, because I remember when that happened, you know, we were going from using music, you know, we were using the latest Drake song or, you know, whoever, Katy Perry songs, right? It's old Katy Perry, right? And we're using these hit songs. And then there's this big shift. Now everyone's using covers or just straight, you know, 100% custom music. So talk to us, you know, walk our audience through maybe some of our newer coaches, owners, parents about this copyright law or the licensing and why that component is so significant.
Oh, definitely. Well, let's, do you know who Pharrell is?
Of course. Come on, Neptunes.
Of course. Pharrell, everybody loves Pharrell. I love Pharrell. I almost bought a hat, but it wouldn't work for me. But Pharrell, actually, if you remember Blurred Lines, the song Blurred Lines, Marvin Gaye's estate actually created a copyright suit against them for $54 million and won. So Pharrell and Robin Thicke actually came out of $54 million of their profits of that song. So copyright law is very real, okay? 2016 happened. Everybody kind of scrambled. Let's figure it out. But realistically, it was the music industry catching up with the spirit industry. Let's face it. The spirit industry just grows and grows and grows. It's more mainstream now than it ever has been. So at this point, copyright law is so necessary and so needed in the spirit industry, more so now than it ever has been. So with copyright law, basically, anybody who's not familiar, let's say, for example, I'm going to create a piece of choreography to a cheer routine where I'm going to use a Britney Spears song. Okay. A live performance gets posted on the YouTube. It goes viral. Britney Spears hears about it. Well, she was never paid for her work. And now you're making money off of that. So that would go then against copyright law.
Gotcha.
So copyright, yeah, it's there's a lot to it, but really it's a very simple process. So figuring out a way to protect the spirit industry from that was so necessary. So, yeah.
Okay, so you say that it was the music industry catching up with the cheer industry. So for years, forever, we've been using just whatever music we wanted to, and all of a sudden, someone somewhere, maybe some exec in some music company, maybe some artist heard their music was being used by cheerleaders, and and they're like, hey, cheerleaders are using our music, and we're not getting paid for it, and people don't like getting paid for their work, and so that leads us to this place where we have to make sure that we have our music license. Am I saying that correctly? Am I on the right path?
You are, and being sure in a cheer mix, okay, there's a lot of audio components in there. Your favorite cheer music producer is amazing, okay? Anybody who's out there who works with a cheer music producer, it is a small community, okay? And they have to do a lot in that mix to make it sound like that. So if you think about every sound effect,
make it sound like that.
Yeah, to make it.
That's my music producer. Sounds like that. So you said it. So
you like how I threw that in there? I know. I remember. You like how I did that right there?
I did.
Even every sound effect, every drum that's in the background, okay, everything is a chance for a copyright issue. Okay, if that drum sound in the background came out of a Beyonce song. Run the World, for example, has those amazing drums, right? If somebody just put that part into a mix, okay, it would then go underneath copyright law. Now, today's cheer music producer is very smart. They have to maneuver through all different businesses. So they're aware of this, okay? But still the protection that needs to happen on a slight mishap, again, $54 million for a 2-second clip. It could be a big detrimental thing to a small gym,
That could be a huge detrimental thing to a big gym.
To a big business in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. So, yeah, so that's essentially what we're trying to do. We're trying to track every piece of audio to be sure that your team, your gym, your event isn't held liable, as well as keeping the music producers holding them accountable for their work, because as a cheer music producer, creating all original mixes, you can know that you're fine. When you start hopping into cover songs, there's certain steps you have to go through to make that legal. So we want to be sure that everybody is legal in the spirit industry.
There we go. Okay, So real quick, so I know I saw this on the website on one of your videos, but you talk about the mule and those 3 parts or 3 components. We've touched on it a little bit, but just walk me through the process. I know we're going to do a demo, but just walk me through the process for our podcast audio listeners.
Definitely. And so in its simplest form, okay, there's 3 people in the spirit industry, right? You have your cheer music producer. You also have your team or the director of the team. Now, this could be a gym owner. It could be a coach. It could be just the overall music parent, depending on the gym, right? The final is the event producer, okay? The actual competition where the routine will be performed at. So thinking about those 3 steps, you have your music producer, you have your team, and you have the event where they're going to perform this routine, okay? Now, if we can take the music producer's audio and licensing, link that directly to the appropriate director of the team, and then that team can then direct their music or link their music, to the event producer directly. Now we've taken out any type of miscommunication that could happen with licensing, as well as with the music. It never actually leaves the app. Okay, which is it's so important for the digital footprint, if that makes sense. Now, you're still going to get an email copy. You're still going to practice with it at competition like normal. But realistically, the music and the licensing never leave the app as far as the mix that you're going to compete to. So that is really the basic process that we're trying to achieve.
And so when you say the music never leaves the app, do you mean that once my music producer sends me the mix and I link that mix to the event, that I can play the music from the app, like from the License Link app at the event?
Oh, the best part is that you don't have to anymore. The best part is, you're an epic coach. You're a legendary coach, Jason Larkins. You know about the music table. Well,
all about it.
You know about it. Hey, that pressing play and having to split your whole team of coaches up, that's it's a head game. Whenever you're walking up to that stage and you have to separate from your team, it's tough. As a coach, I've been there.
Yeah.
So taking out the music table and letting the DJ, now the event has all the music for every single division. Now the DJ can actually play the music. Okay. And remember, there's 2 performances that happen at a cheer competition, not on a one day. Okay. You have your actual competition floor, but you also have the warm-up room. Okay. So now there's no more separating in the warm-up room either. Okay. They have that there as well. Now press play for your music in the warm-up room. Boom. Then you make it out to the floor and the music is already ready to go because it's check marked by the warm-up room person for the event. The DJ will then see that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, this is the correct team. Let's press play. You ready? Boom. DJ presses play. You never split up your team anymore. So it's a big plus at competition. So
for sure. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure I'm saying this correctly.
Jason Larkins, let's break it down, baby.
All right. So sounds like that does our music.
Yes.
He sends the music. Well, he's gonna send it to me on email, but he sends the music to the app and sends it to License Link.
Yes.
I log on. I'm able to see that I have a mix. I go, oh, I have my Youth Black mix here. Yes. I accept the mix, and then I go and put that mix and send it to my competition schedule. And we're going to Spirit Sports, and we're going to go to UCA, we're going to do NCA or whatever the case may be. And I link that there. And now those competitions have my mix, in their License Link, file or database. And then they can hit play straight from the DJ booth. That's all sounds right?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Okay. And then the licensing comes with that as well. It's part of the app as well. Is that
what you're hearing? That's the best part. So with the licensing, after 2016, competitions basically said, okay, we need something to try to protect ourselves, which rightfully so. So let's collect this piece of paper saying that the team is legal to use this. Now, there's a lot of problems with this piece of paper, okay? You can lose it, right? You can forget at competition, then you got to call your music producer, try to get a copy emailed, right? Or there may be a streamlined process that they may have it. But realistically, nobody's looking at this license, and there's no way to actually prove that license is the same license that goes with the music that you're playing. Okay, so me as a coach, they email me the music and the licensing. I can then throw a Beyonce song using GarageBand, throw a Beyonce song into my mix, go compete with that music using the same licensing. And that's an issue. Okay, it gives a problem for the music producer. Now, as long as right from the beginning, when your music is linked to you and your licensing, you're going to accept that for the whole year, one time for the whole year. Now there's no need to actually see it at competition. To accept your mix, you have to be able to accept the licensing at the same time. So at that point, there's no more questions whether about this is the correct piece of art, basically the correct piece of music with the correct piece of licensing. There's no more questioning. So now you don't have to provide that at competition. It makes it so much more easy on competition day. As a coach, you got too much to worry about. You got the one parent who's running late, so you know what it is.
Such the 5 parents out running late.
Hey, you already know. No. So yeah, that's it's another big plus of licensing.
There we go. All right. So sounds like you're taking a ton of stress, a ton of liability off of our hands, trying to make things very convenient, not only
Yes, sir.
for coaches, but also the music producer and the event producers. So
Yes,
real
sir.
quick, let's just talk about this before we hop into the demo. But how much does this how much does the app cost, and how much does it cost to run this whole thing, on our end as coaches?
Yeah, as coaches. So the app itself is actually free. You can download it in the App Store. Okay, download it on Google Play, wherever you get your apps from. It's actually free. Okay, there is a small application fee, very minor, $24, as well as whenever you accept a mix, it's $45 for the entire year. Okay, and that is per mix. That's not per gym. We wanted to keep it fair for everybody. And instead of charging one big amount, my wife owns a small gym. Okay. And I know how crucial those dollars are. Okay. So we wanted to be sure that it was fair for everybody and still be able to give you those benefits as well as protection. So we figure $45 per mix is going to be able to keep you safe from that $54 million lawsuit that Pharrell just caught.
There we go.
So yeah.
There we go. All right. Well then, you ready to hop into this demo then?
Yes, sir. Jason Larkins, I've been ready, my man. Let's go to work.
All right. Let me pull up the app on my end and let's see. Here we go. All right.
Let me tell you, your audience is pretty amazing. Just going through just comments and all the support, all the love. Audience, you're rock stars. And Jason Larkins.
All right, here we go. Verify to continue. I am verifying that I'm Jason Larkins. I'm listed here as the cheer director. Oh, and right at the top, I got a notification. You have a new mix to accept. So is that what you want me to do right now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead and click that check mark. Click on there, click that check mark, and let's accept that mix.
Sorry, accept the mix. Grab mix and license. Check the check mark. Here we go. All right. So do you agree to the licensing that this is your mix to be received? I do. Accept right here. I'm guessing I paid for it virtually. A little Bitcoin. I use my Bitcoin to accept that. All right, here we go. So I've accepted the mix. And now I need to link that to a competition.
Yes, sir. So you'll see that little link symbol right there on that mix. Let's click that. Yep. And let's jump and let's see what that first event is called right there.
There we go. Jason Larkin Championship. There we go. Good stuff.
A nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, where champions are made.
There we go.
All right, here we go. So let's see. It seems pretty intuitive. State, California, event producer. There we go. Jason Larkin's Championship Series. Oh, we got a series? Okay, and the date is October 30th. Okay, that's all typed in. And I'm going to choose that one. Let me zoom out real quick. Okay. Scrolling down, link mix to competition. Oh, I got to do all this. We're do one.
So that's what's really going to make it super easy for the event producer is by actually putting in the level and the division of your team, putting it in there. And what that is actually going to do for the event producer is file that for them. So whenever the DJ is ready to play, it makes it very simple.
Yep. There we go. All right. So we're a D1 elite team. This is a U3's mix. Oops, clicked the wrong. There we go. And we're on there. Makes this link to event, and we're on. So I've linked it to the event. So now Jason Larkin's Championship Series now has my U3 mix. Then we're going to do that for all of the mixes I receive for our whole competition season, our whole competition schedule.
Yes, sir. It's that simple. Yeah,
easy
and this
enough.
is I say it all the time. This is it's the most important app that you're never really going to have to use. You know, you're going to accept your music on it. You're going to link it to your competition schedule, and you're protected. And it's a very easy process.
There we go, man. Easy. Super easy. Okay, so what happens when I need revisions?
Oh, very simple. So Now, that's been the most questions that I've gotten about this entire process. Now, what we've actually done is all you got to do is really hit a button that says request revision.
Okay.
What the music producer is going to do then is upload the new mix to the exact same director, exact same team, and just basically replace the mix. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're not going to have to re-accept the licensing for a whole nother 365 days. Okay. It's actually
Okay.
going to take where the old mix left off at. Okay. It's still the same agreement. You will still have to accept it into your account, but the exact same time, that's the revision will then just go based off of the same time for the licensing, making it very simple. So everything is done within the app. Now, two questions that I've had. Well, then is the mix erased, the old mix? No, we have to keep that on the back end right there for you to be sure that you're protected. That way we can prove this is the mix that you use at the Jason Larkins Championship Series.
Mm-hmm.
And go back if you were ever to need that. Okay, so we're here for you to be sure that you're protected. If you would ever need that, we have it on back file. Now, if you ever need to restore a mix because you know what, those changes didn't work, we're just going to do the old routine.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, it's that simple as well. Okay, we're going to keep that whole thing ready to go for that 365 day period. Unlimited switch. It doesn't charge or it doesn't cost to get a revision. It's completely included in that 45.
There we go. Easy money. All right. So now we've talked about the login with the cheer director. So obviously lots of gyms have multiple coaches. You know, they have an owner, maybe a cheer director, multiple coaches who aren't either an owner or a cheer director. So my question is about the login. Should gyms use one login for their entire staff? Should one gym have, or is there like an American cheer page, I guess, and each coach has a different login, or how should we, or how is that set up right now?
I would recommend, because once again, like I just said, you're really only going to have to look at it on the day that you accept your mix and the day that you link your mixes. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is really the only time that you're actually going to have to look at that. So our biggest suggestion is have one person within your organization on your team that will then accept the mixes in there and then link them right away to your competition schedule.
Gotcha.
That is my biggest recommendation. You know, to have multiple logins on that one might create an issue and some confusion if somebody has already accepted a mix. Other than that one person saying, okay, I have 11 teams that I need to be sure that have been accepted into my account. Boom, 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 boom. Instead of this coach, this coach, this coach.
There we go.
Recommendation.
Easy money. There we go. Okay. So the app is out right now, right? I obviously downloaded it, so it's ready to go. But what about, is the app ready? Are we ready for this to release this upcoming competition season, or are we looking at the timeline? What's the timeline looking like for that?
Yes, we are ready. We're ready to start protecting the whole industry. Okay. I'm so adamant about this. You please contact your event producer. Contact your event producer and say, hey, have you heard about this license link thing? I think it could be really good. We're doing the same thing on the back end. We've already put in place some contracts for the 2022 starting after the 1st. And that's whenever everything will start releasing into the industry. The more awareness that we get, hopefully the more event producers, will be able to see the value that we can provide to the whole industry. So please, 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 if you're an event producer, message me, please. I'm here working for you. If you're a music producer, message me. I'm working for you. If you're a cheer director, message me. Please let me help answer questions, or just go to License Link, license LICENSE. I know we had the combo the other day. Link LINQ.com. Okay, like the link in Vegas because I'm going this weekend. But license.com, and then you can contact us through there. But please, the more the merrier whenever it comes to questions that I can answer about this thing. You know, it's been my baby now for 3 years. We've been working on it. So it's been a long process, but it is 100% ready to go. It's in the App Store today.
There we go. So licenselink.com in the App Store right now. We should start seeing this thing rolling now after the 1st of January at some various competitions, and hopefully at every competition, after that on the grind, right?
Yes, that's it. I'm telling you, man.
All right. So you guys know, link in the description. We'll have his email in the description if you guys want to holler at him there. And Nathan, thank you so much for joining us today. You're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you. Next time I'm going to come there. The next time I'll be ready for lunch. So you just let me know what you're cooking.
Right? Let's go.
My man. No, thank you so much. And thank you so much for the hospitality, brother.
For sure. Again, huge shout out to Nathan Voss and the whole team over there at License Link. Thank you so much for coming on the show and just sharing with us how you are revolutionizing the game. So we wish you guys the best luck this season. I hope every music producer, gym, and event producer hops on this app and we can make this thing happen. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're out.